The Meistr sits slumped in a chair, looking around the room as she works her shoulder with one hand. It looks like it was dislocated by the gallows.
She has very nice clothes. Especially the combination of the black and the gold. Looks really nice. Anything interesting you sell? Oh, you do. Okay. This Sebille, come here. At least at the end of the dialogue, we have to take advantage of that.
Damnable red cloak baboons ransacking my wardrobes, as if I would keep ancient valuable secrets in a pile with my unmentionables.
She takes a deep breath, and with a twist, a click, and a screech of pain, she shoves her shoulder back into its socket.
I never dislodged anything besides a kneecap, and that was horrible. I didn't want to know how dislodging your shoulder and getting it to be back in the joint again feels or sounds.
I swear by the seven if we did not have more important matters to attend to.
Ouch indeed.
Reaching across the table, she pulls a bowl of hot water towards her and fishes some bandages, a needle, and thread out of a box. She slowly starts to tend to her wounds.
Okay, but she seems to be quite metal and just putting the dislodged shoulder back in its place, then stitching her wounds without any kind of anesthetics. Okay.
At least the barbarians were unable to club their way into my vault, so everything you need should be safe.
Lavender watches as she slowly rubs a cut on her arm. So, why exactly did they strung you up?
Apparently I had a claw in murdering their darling divine-in-waiting Alexander.
I mean, how? You're here. He was murdered on Fort Joy.
The Meistr wrenches the bandage, pulling the fabric tight against her wound. She winces before tying it off in a neat knot, but you can see the red stain already spreading across the fabric.
Never mind that. That I was here the entire time. Apparently my cunning transcends time, space, and common sense.
But she seems like, from the way of talking and all that says, like she's a very good friend of Melody. Probably not, because they're so similar. The last option. Wonder if she isn't forgetting something. Words that rhyme with thank you, maybe. Well, actually, I'm the reason the Magisters are looking for Alexander's killer. Oops.
Meistr Siva freezes, her eyes locked on you, her claws mid-swipe, cutting a new stretch of bandage.
Why on earth should I have thought anything else?
Is that something bad?
Not that I was sorry to hear about his death. I doubt my grin helped matters during the interrogation.
Right, so now that he's free, how can I proceed? I want to move quickly. I don't want to stay here.
Enthusiasm? On a weekday? My word. We shall begin once we have the tools we need from my vault. You may have been chosen God-woken, but becoming divine requires more than a supernatural pat on the head.
So she also thinks that's the next step. Going to become divine. It'll be interesting, because I think it's kinda something all of our companions want, so probably very interesting to see who's going to become divine, and who's trying to murder us for it.
Come, God-woken. It is time to see just how awake you are.
Right, quick save. And don't mind if I do. Ooh, Meister's note. The wand isn't too interesting. I think the pants are nice. The chest armor is also nice, I think. These are all not really special. here, all the money. Okay, well, we can just take everything, I think. Alright.
Fortunately, the Magisters pay as much attention to art as they do to fashion. Kindly remove that painting from the wall.
Ah, the classic. Something behind painting. Nobody really likes that one. Yes.
I pray my instructions will not be too technical for you.
Excuse me.
Push. Your talent for following simple instructions fills me with wonder and pride. Now, kindly go to the vault and enter the combination. I shall call it out as you go.
I do wonder, I mean, of course I'm not doing that because it would be highly unfitting for this character, but I do wonder if you would go and kill her now, how does the game proceed?
A stone door lies flush with the floorboards. Etched whorls in the granite frame a delicate rotary dial. Gleaming under the dim light, the metallic dial almost seems to wink at you.
Lavender enters the safe combination as the Meistr calls it out.
Taking your time, you carefully enter the combination. The metallic sounds of the tumblers falling within the mechanism let you know you entered the code correctly.
Excellent. Follow me. Your time is at hand, Godwoken.
Old and weird cellar, and she also has a huge source fountain.
Feel free to look about while I catch my breath.
How and where you get something like that?
Come speak to me when you wish to proceed.
This place
and
is
try
an
not to break anything in the meantime.
An unlimited source. That has so much power and so much source. Notes on Godwoken Ascension. As the Siva instructs me to record my research before I conduct any experiments regarding Godwoken Ascension. The ritual itself is quite simple. Place a single piece of black root in the ritual bowl. Draw blood with obsidian lancet. Yone is most convenient. Sprinkle it upon the root. Set a flame to the bowl and its contents. Ensure that you have sufficient source. Inhale the resulting smoke. Beyond this point, nothing is known. Alright, Alistair, enjoy your meal. The ingredients for this ritual are not rare per se. It may be difficult to procure. Unfortunate that the Meistr's source fountain never runs low, so it is simpler to gather source. Blackroot, however, is another matter entirely. The root grows in the forest to the northwest of Driftwood. It produces no poison or thorns to guard it, but all manner of creatures stalk those trees. It is wise to quickly grab what one needs and then return. I pray that my experiments here pave the way for future scholars, or, should I succeed, allow anyone to be the equals of Godwin. Apprentice Talik. They want to be, or to become Godwoken in a way? Treatise on Humanity. Why the 7 gods exist not now, nor ever have. Gods? Fairy tales, phantoms, what more? Who would mistake the mysteries of nature for the hands of a ghost? The bounty and beauty of nature. It seems foolish to assign this wonder to some unknown and unknowing entity. Some may request I cast mind's gaze not upon the lilies of the field, but upon the source of man and the higher beasts. But this I submit, that I have inspected the inner workings of man and beast living and dead, and have found no soul, only squirming red and bleeding pulp. There was no god in those private chambers. Interesting. Atheism in the world of Rivellon. I mean, before we just loot the whole place, I think we could also talk to Meistr Sebille.
The Meistr is examining her wounds, prodding at this, wincing at that. Her face seems grim as she turns to you.
By chance? Nope.
Do you know what it means to have the power of the divine, Godwoken?
Would say it means the power to make the world a better place.
And you in your infinite wisdom would know what is better? You would judge your enemies without prejudice and make decisions that could hurt your own for the greater good? No, becoming the divine means taking on the power of all the gods and the responsibility for all the races. The divine was created by the gods to shelter us from the void. The divine cannot use his power for anything else.
Oh, that sounds like very little fun. Lavender is quite beautiful, so Lavender nods. I understand.
Very well, then. Let's see if we can't snatch divinity from the jaws of the void. The ritual itself is quite simple. Drop some blackroot in the bowl, mix in a little blood, set the concoction aflame, and then inhale the smoke.
I mean, just inhaling blackroot blood smoke. It's too easy to be the key to ascension, right?
Ignore any feelings of dizziness, burning in your lungs, or a dire sense of existential dread. They're all perfectly normal, although you will need to sacrifice a little sauce along the way.
Just everyday feelings.
Everything you need is here. Ingredients in the cupboard. Sauce in the glowing fountain. Ritual in the tome by the bookcase. Even an incinerator to provide a flame.
We don't even need our own fire? How boring.
The Meistr looks back at her wounds, curiously prodding them as fresh blood oozes out, staining her claws.
You're still full HP. I can't even heal you. You know, your cuts look pretty bad.
Quite. Mind you, being torn asunder by a Voidwoken would be even more inconvenient. So if you wouldn't mind...
The Meistr points sharply to the ingredients cupboard.
Lavender pauses for a moment. Wait. Did you ever see the ritual performed?
Once, although not by a Godwoken. My assistant did not believe that one had to be chosen by a god to become divine.
Yeah, we kind of foresaw that with the last comment in the book, right?
She waves a bandaged hand absent-mindedly, wincing slightly.
A headstrong and thoughtless girl, but the experience was... was quite educational.
Doesn't sound like much of us left, right?
From observing her, I gather that the ritual involves inhaling the smoke, a lot of screaming, and a rather sudden death.
Lavender's eyes go wide. You let your assistants go through with that, even though she wasn't Godwoken.
Well, certainly. It is not my place to police the stupidity of others.
The ritual becoming divine was way more complicated in Divine Divinity. You needed all the council members of all the races for the Ascension ritual spell. Yeah, that sounds way more complicated than, here, go and burn some blackroot.
I have to admit I was curious. Imagine if it had been a success. Why, then anyone could have ascended, even I... Alas, success was beyond her reach. Quite fascinating to watch, though. I've never seen a body burn from the inside out before.
Such a lovely and compassionate old lady. Lavender swallows nervously. Well, at least I'm sure I'm Godwoken, so let's get ready.
And do not lose anything. These ingredients are rare indeed. I'm not hiking back out to the cloisterwood to fetch you more blackroot.
Okay. Where's the stuff? Here?
Opening the door, you see a selection of ingredients, thrown together in no particular order.
Lavender looks for the materials he needs to complete the ritual.
After a quick rummage, you spot the blackroot nestled between the grated dragon's tongue and druidine oil. You gather up the blackroot, obsidian lance, and ancient bowl, and kick the door of the cupboard closed.
Right, and now we can do a little bit of combining and crafting. Up. Wait. Like that. I kind of always expect the newest ones to be on the top. But oh well. Fine. Black. Oh no. The black road with the ritual ball. I think we have to just use the lancet. Yeah, now it's a bloody lancet. Yes. Put the blood in there. And it looks weirdly red glowing, but I think it's just the blood. Should we do it boringly with the incinerator? With our own fire. Let's just quick save, just to be extra sure. This bowl. And fame. Go. Looking good. Looking saucy.
As you suck the smoke deep into your lungs, your vision starts to swim and cloud. There is an intense pounding in your head, and you can feel the world fading.
Interesting. Lavender holds the fumes in his lungs and ignores the thumping in his head.
As the world fades away, you lose all sense of being grounded. You reach out, but you could feel yourself falling slowly, sinking into the depths of your own soul.
Deepest recess of my soul? But it looks like the Hall of Echoes.
I just hope we didn't just die. Hey, welcome to the Hall of Echoes, you dead. It's like a place where we retreat, or soul retreats to. Oh, wait, that's us? Are we like talking to ourselves now? It's exactly... It's not the same stats. It's a better version of us.
Bathed in the half-light of these starless barrens, you spot a figure you could only describe as a second self. It looks haggard and weak, its very voice but a feeble echo of your own.
My chosen, come closer, so that you may see me, as I truly am.
It's Sandelius once again. Probably weak from whatever happened at the tree. Slowly being stripped of source. Slowly bleeding out. I mean, that's the thing. If we're up against something which is just casually killing all the 7 gods together, what kind of chance do we have? And who is that? Who's so powerful to do that? And remembering what happened last time, and looking at the small part of missing meat on his forearm, the stays where he is.
Stubborn as ever, but you will look me in the eyes.
The apparition clasps your face in its shaking hands. You suddenly feel your eyes tingle. Everything becomes brighter, sharper. Blacks and whites become glorious bursts of color, then fade back into their accustomed spectrum.
Blind eyes, shine brightly. Speak the spell and see.
You learn Spirit Vision. Cast the spell regularly to reveal a hidden world of ghosts lingering in the mortal realm. Yeah, because usually if you cast it, it doesn't cost anything, but usually it just stays for 10 turns. One of the gift back mods is actually that it stays indefinitely, and it's so much nicer, because you don't have to always think about that. Because if you're as forgetful as I am, you will just miss out on it quite a lot of times, and you will miss lots of ghosts you're going to meet.
Gone is the strange mirror image of yourself. Before you stands the god Sandelius in all his spectral glory.
I wonder why he's giving us that power. Especially because he didn't seem very friendly.
You know me, don't you? I saved you from drowning. I blessed you, made you powerful, and now I've come to seek some power in return.
Uh-huh.
Your God-woken soul is my last refuge, my last bastion. May as well make the best of what you have to offer.
So you want to possess us?
Tir Sandelius nourishes himself from the source that abounds in your presence. You feel it deep down inside yourself.
Ah, yes. Just what I needed. I tell you, dying just doesn't become a god.
Amadia, so the goddess you meet when you're playing Fane, is so much nicer than Tir Sandelius. You know, don't be greedy. Quite frankly, I need all the souls I can get.
Don't you dare be ungrateful after all I've done for you. I sheltered you. Now you must shelter me. The void itself is hunting down the gods, leeching us in ways we never thought possible. Droplet by droplet, we are being drained.
But I mean, doesn't that just paint a target on our back?
We're battling for our very survival. It's a battle we're losing, and should we truly lose, all will be cast into oblivion.
Nice that we can say exactly what I just said. But, you know, biding yourself in my soul, you turn me into a target for every Void Woken in the world. That doesn't sound very appealing. Yeah, he's so arrogant. I mean, Relic is also quite stern and very commanding, but less arrogant, I think, and Relic still is very arrogant.
Well, sort of. But by all means, let that be a motivator, not a cause for concern.
Void Woken hunting me should be a motivator?
You must realize that our fates are now as one, just as our souls are now as one. We are I.
That doesn't sound like a good idea.
Together we are a force to be reckoned with. But if we seek to survive the onslaught of the Void, we stand no chance unless we become vastly more powerful than we are now. That means there is but one place we can go. The Well of Ascension.
The Well of Ascension. I've read about it once. It's supposed to be the fabled birthplace of gods, right?
It most certainly will be. The Well of Ascension is a lake, a pool of pure source in which the powers of the Seven lie united. We gave them up freely to create the first divine. Each of us donated half of that which makes us gods. To bathe in the lake is to become our chosen.
But I mean, that's something very interesting to have that now plain out. That source is what makes gods gods. It would mean it's something very divine and not something inherently evil, like Athemagisters just say.
That is where the road to divinity leads, and you must be the first to reach it at all costs.
Wait, hold on. The gods once gave away half of their powers. Just like that.
It was a time of selflessness and sacrifice in the face of our old enemy. It was an act of heroism and a dreadful mistake to boot, which we must rectify.
So when Lucian died, all the souls, all the powers returned, and once again came back to the Well of Ascension.
The Void is stronger than ever. A new divine won't be enough. You need to go to the Well of Ascension, not to bathe in the source of the seven, but to take it. All of it. Only he who claims everything will be everything. The Void's doom, this world's liberator.
I do wonder if that's the reason why he wants to merge with us, so that we get the power. So is it just a plan for him to absorb lots of power of the others? Just became like the biggest of all the gods? At least with the whole way he acts, we seem pretty expendable. We just seem like a tool. I do wonder what will happen to the other gods if I do this.
It's very simple, really. They will either bow to you or be undone.
That's about that.
But of course that is what they are saying to their own god Woken as we speak. We both know they won't bow, just like we both know you will never bow to them. Only one can become a god strong enough to safeguard our world. One, at the expense of all others.
And I guess that's what they are all about. Why they are also telling us that we can't trust anyone else. It's about becoming the one and only god, and amassing even more power. I mean, it's still the question, like, we know from Fane that they all used to be just lords, just nobility. So the question is, how did they amass so much power, so much source?
So make no mistake, my champion. Chances are, the road to divinity will be paved with dead gods. Their blood on your murderous hands. But don't let that dismay you. For these sins will be washed clean by the knowledge you committed them to save all of existence. To save your kin, and your loved ones, and the world they live in.
But what would that mean for the other races?
They will be at your mercy, which is vastly preferable to you being at theirs. Wouldn't you agree?
Why can't you just all work together against the Void, instead of playing power games?
So fret not, but revel in the promise of the lake. I will lead you there when you are ready, when you've become a true master of the Source, and speak the language of creation itself. Our journey will be fraught with peril. It is a pilgrimage of challenges that will require you to command Source like only a God-woken can, and wield its most powerful spells.
But I mean, if I'm supposed to become a master of Source, surely there's no better tutor than yourself.
Hoarse laughter rolls and echoes into infinity.
You flatter me, my chosen, but if all I had to do was give, you would long since have received.
How little power do you have left if you can't even teach me about sorcery?
We are I now. The spells you need to know I will teach you when you are ready. But first, you must learn to channel the Source in greater volumes. That is why you need to seek masters of the Source. You must make them teach you, so that you may become a master in turn. So return to Rivellon and seek out these sages where they dwell. Convince them to share with you their deep-seated bond with the Source.
And alongside us, even more other Godwoken. The interesting part is, we know that Sebille is also Godwoken of Tears and Delius, but I mean, if he resides in us now, he can't reside in her, right? Otherwise, that's also a lie.
Once you have, you may return to me here.
You know, I would have thought you would be a Master of Souls yourself. Kind of disappointing.
And so much more. But I'm no longer who I once was, bound to you as I've become. I will teach you what I can, but the knowledge that will expand the bounds of your soul, that you'll have to hunt for yourself.
Alright. Before I go, what exactly do you do to my eyes?
Something that will make you understand that for a god, there is precious little difference between the living and the dead. Source is. It is a constant, a subject of neither time nor transience. All of life is source, and in source it is, immortally so. You have the vision of a god now. Eyes that can see spirits, the souls of the dead made manifest in source.
That's so cool. I really like the mechanic. It's kind of similar to be able to talk to animals. But I mean, being able to talk to the undead, just so much of the game so that you just can find out more. I mean, just talk to the ghost of a murder victim, for example.
Speak the spell during your peregrinations and you will see them. Where the dead lie, the dead linger. Best of luck, my champion.
And here we have just the spirit we can talk to. The Chronicler. I don't really recognize the clothes. The symbol with the 3 stars looks quite unique. Looks like someone from the church, right? But I gotta say, despite really loving Rivellon and Divinity, I'm not good at recognizing symbols and things.
A man's spirit stands before you, clad in scholarly dress. When your eyes meet, he staggers back, terrified.
Who has taken my books? My notes? They were here just a moment ago. Everything was peaceful again.
Oh, I think he just died.
Sweet Armadia, why do you test your chronicler so, haunting me with spirits? Am I cursed? Has the goddess turned her back on me?
No, I'm sorry to say that to you, but, I'm not the spirit, you are the spirit. You are dead, and I'm not. Alright?
The chronicler shudders, looking sick to his stomach.
Again. This again. I sleep, then I wake, and another piece of the world is gone. When we were in Reaper's Eye, when I saw those tomes and scrolls, I was myself again. For a moment, I was alive. But the vision always fades. I'm just a remnant of the Empress's ambition.
What Empress?
Why can't I escape? Why is there never a way out?
Wait, I want to know more about you. What's happening?
Me? I archived Rivellon's history. I used ink to immortalize greatness on the page. A lizard empress sought my services.
Ooh.
She needed an ancient design restored from a damaged text.
I wonder if those 3 stars, unfortunately I can't zoom in, I can just move the text. I wonder if those 3 stars are just the symbol of the Lizard Empire.
She told me the design was brilliant. When the armor was forged, the Empress showed it to me, and she trapped me inside. Consumed me.
Ugh.
If it wasn't for me, the armor wouldn't exist at all. This is my fault.
So you kinda created an armor with a soul or multiple souls inside? You know, if I know a way how to break you free, I'd definitely do that.
If I knew the way, I'd shout until every god heard me. But I have no idea. I simply want this to end.
The chronicler puts his head in his hands, collapsing in silent defeat.
So I think we're not able to do something. Oh, it's connected to a hunger from beyond. Collect the full set of the Devourer armor. Chronicler's spirit recovered the original design for the Devourer armor for the Outlaw Empress. She sacrificed him to the armor when it was complete. I wonder... I mean, we already talked to this mysterious entity, the one with the nice voice. I wonder what he was sacrificed to that entity? What if they're just sores in the different armor parts? That's why he's also so close to us, because he's just basically following us. I mean, if we walk, cast this again. I think because we have the armor piece, we're basically just dragging him along. Poor guy.